On the cold, chilly night of December 5th, unsuspecting bad and misbehaving children are snatched from their homes, only leaving the good children to receive gifts from Claus. It does also save the trouble of Santa having to check that list twice. And you thought growing up, receiving a lump of coal from Santa was going to be the worst punishment. So this prosthetic, it's a little strange with the teeth being way above my upper lip, so I'm just gonna go ahead and paint my mouth with some black Skin Illustrator just so I don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna be using Telus Beta Bond Plus to glue all this stuff down. Just line up the center and then carefully press it down. Now let's get that lower half done. I'm going to start with the nose because it's going to take a little bit of working to get it to fit. This is a generic piece, so my nose is not going to sit in this prosthetic properly. What I ended up doing was just lining up the nostrils and then lining up the corners because I know that the center of my nose is just not going to sit in that piece. There is a gap there. I'm assuming are the eye bags, so we're going to have to lightly tug up and adhere it versus where it kind of just wants to sit down like that. Seal the prosthetic, and I'm going to be using Beta Bond Plus for that. I'm just gonna powder everything so that I don't have an issue with paintbrushes sticking to the pieces. Traditionally, Krampus is depicted in a dark brown or black, but for a little more interest, I'm gonna go with more of a lighter brown color. I'm gonna take the Skin Illustrator Grunge palette, and I'm gonna take the dark Brun. We're gonna use that for the deep crevices of the piece before we start to paint the main color. The stage is gonna look bad, just trust the process. Using a stipple brush to build up the color with Prairie Dust. And alternating back to that dark Brun. Skin Illustrator Necromania palette. I'm gonna take dead flesh and a torn makeup sponge and stamp that all over. You can use this to build up some of those highlight points. Going in with a brush just to build up more of that color. With the Skin Illustrator Complexion palette, I'm gonna take the cool tone. And darken areas with more dark Brun. Complexion palette, taking Capillary for some creepy veins. Using light mauve for the lower lip. For the teeth, I'm going to do the Necromania palette. We're going to use that color Bone. Use a little of that Vile to kind of gross up those teeth. Do the tongue with the Dusty Rose color. Using just a touch of dark mauve to help shade some of the tongue. The horns, I painted them with bone and then added some dark Brun at the bottom coming up. And paint inside, just in case any of that is seen once those horns are in place. DT Blush. This is just to add a life into the character. Plus, he's going to be a little flushed from tormenting all those children all night. We're going to take some Beta Bond Plus and glue on those horns. I really like the fact that the facial hair is sculpted, so I got some hair. It's got a little bit of the crimp in it, so we're going to glue that on over where the sculpted beard is. The costume's super easy. Got a large hood cloak off of Amazon and just added pre-cut strips of white fur. And just attach that with some hot glue. Okay, let's go ahead and get those contacts in. The real trick now is going to be trying to get my waterline done, and I'm going to use PPI Pomade and Graphite. Now, I can't really see my eyes, so we're just going to assume that that's probably pretty good. Now I want to juicify that tongue. I'm going to be using Skin Illustrator Love Shine. Just pouring a little bit into a cup, and I'm going to apply it with a brush since I don't want to get the surrounding areas wet. It gives it a nice shine. Gotta have those chains so the sound sends chills down the spines of those naughty kids. Krampus is derived from the German word Krampen, which means claw. Definitely do not want to forget those. If you're into Christmas baddies, then head over to this Oogie Boogie video and I'll see you there.